Welcome to day 267 of the 300 Movie Challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of August 2016, which was Suicide Squad.
So, two things. First, I had seen several reviews slash commentaries about this movie. I think we all probably have.
Yep.
So we
Yeah.
knew what we were getting into, at least somewhat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to avoid anything about this movie since it's so notorious.
Yeah, so
And it has an interesting split.
that said, literally every single aspect of this movie is confusing.
Yeah, the cinematography, the pacing.
Every single character is confusing to some degree. The plot is confusing both in terms of what it is and also how it's told. I'm so what the fuck. I literally after I was done, I was like, I have one word, huh? Because it's so confusing.
I guess for a little bit of context, if you don't know, citing either your movie sucks or I hate everything, this movie was put together and cut by a trailer production team. And I can
I forgot
see it.
that. Yeah?
I can see it. It's kind of like earlier today I was watching a video about why the YouTuber movies aren't very good, like the Shane Dawson movie and Fred movie, because they work best in short videos. So it their movies felt like a bunch of short videos just kind of stitched together, and it still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's this movie too. It's a bunch of trailers that are together and still don't make sense.
Well, it's even worse than that almost. Okay, the first third of this movie has more stuff going on than the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just all the introductions, and you can see they put a lot of effort into all the character introductions and whatnot with the effects, but then throughout the rest of the movie you're just kind of what happened to all the effects?
Yeah, no, the CGI is honestly pretty bad. For the whole climax stuff.
It's pretty inconsistent, I guess, too. Going off of what was mentioned.
Yeah, and then the pacing is super weird. It's super fast for the first third, and then for the rest of it, it's really slow.
Yeah.
And
The first half, I was like, wait, is the movie almost done? It seemed like it.
And the thing is, if you take what happens in a sentence by sentence basis, it kind of is.
Right.
They just stretch it out so much. It's just again, it's just weird. Everything about this is weird and confusing, and
The as you said, the characters are weird, and then their character dynamics are also really weird too. Because we've seen a lot of superhero groups come together at this point and stuff, between the X-Men and then the Avengers and stuff like that. And I guess you could even say Lord of the Rings and stuff, because they were a group that came together and stuff. So this group coming together almost seemed to be too confusing, because at times it seemed like they were really buddy with each other and everything, and they had known each other since forever, and then other times they were complete strangers.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was very inconsistent.
And again, the whole tone about we're such bad people, but then they help each other and are nice, and it's wait a minute.
You would expect that if bad guys became a team, they would still be bad to each other too. They're not necessarily alliances right away.
Yeah,
you know?
or I get the idea of they need them. They realize hey, I need this other guy alive just so I don't die, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, that doesn't mean they act nice to each other, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
and then there's the problem where again, so that's half the characters. It's like, why are you nice? But then the other half of them, it's like, wait, why are you apparently a bad guy, right? Again, like the big
Right.
one being Will Smith, who is like acts like a normal fucking person. So it's like, why they're just like, oh, but he's a bad guy, and it's like, yeah, sure.
I
okay.
mean, I would even say that Diablo's not a bad guy either. He just like had an unfortunate thing happen because of his powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and again, the tone, because of that, and because of how all the characters are so different in that regard, it's like it's really inconsistent in terms of the team dynamic and their interactions with people. And okay, let's talk about the whole premise of this movie to begin with.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, I know this must have been based off of some sort of comic or whatever, and I don't know what that core premise is. Okay, so I don't know why the original Suicide Squad was put together, or if it made sense then. I don't know.
Mhm.
But it makes no fucking sense here. And here's the thing. I have seen all the DCAU shows, and I'm actually watching Young Justice right now. And so Amanda Waller is a person in both of that. Okay?
Oh.
Now, she is a different role. So, kind of. So, the whole premise of this is that, like, this movie is that they're worried about, like, you know, oh, what if, like, someone like Superman shows up and, like, wants to destroy everything, okay?
Mm.
Now, in the Justice League show, there's literally a whole thing about how, I'm trying to say, okay, let me try to make sure I get this right. There's sort of an alternate future where Flash dies, and because Flash dies, Superman just straight up kills Lex Luthor, and, like, all this shit happens, and, like, he actually, like, you know, he does destroy a lot of stuff. And so Amanda Waller, and somehow I don't remember how this happens, but she, like, learns about that's like a future that will happen. So she
I
sets up
see.
then not like a team of villains, but this sort of like organization called Cadmus, which is this whole idea of basically the goal is the same of like, we have to deal with someone like Superman destroying shit. How are we going to do that? But it's not through
Okay.
let's therefore hire Harley Quinn, right? That's not what the point is. So in Young Justice, I'm not 100% sure exactly what her role is because I'm only like halfway through. But it's at least it's kind of a similar thing. Like, for example, the prison that they have here in this movie, Belrev, like, that's in Young Justice, and she's kind of a part of that and stuff. So at least, like, in the shows, it makes sense in terms of what she's doing, like, why she's doing it, and, like, the goal there. Whereas here, again, it's like, oh, we're, you know, afraid that this could happen. So, by the way, let's, like, bring out this, you know, person who is a literal witch who can, like, do all this shit, like, that we can't control. Let's bring her in. It's like,
Yeah, that
sounds like a
totally
bad
a-
idea.
yeah.
Brilliant idea.
So, just, ugh. And, okay. I don't understand where the whole thing about Harley Quinn being, like, super sexual came from. Because
I don't know either.
you would think, well, okay, you know, this, I mean, considering how those kinds of characters are often written, and I mean, you could say, like, it's not like it's wrong in terms, like, you could see her being like that or whatever, but here's the thing. Harley Quinn actually started in the animated series. That was where she was introduced.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh,
An
okay.
interesting like introduction into everything.
right, and so, I mean, for one, it's, like, ultimately a kid's show, so they can't be, like, super sexual with her, and there is, like, a few things here and there, but it's, like, it's not, like, that big of a thing, and I understand that, like, you know, it's different interpretations of the character or whatever, but it just comes off as kind of odd that they make it as, like, that's, like, so central to her character, when it's, like, it's not really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, even, like, because I'm thinking the animated series, I'm thinking, like, the Arkham games, like, she's not really that sexual either, so, like, it's just kind of weird. So, the one thing that I'm, like, kind of interested in is that, like, the whole, thing that, like, her and the Joker, like, do legitimately both like each other. Because in the other thing, it's very clear that before, like, basically she likes the Joker, but he doesn't give a shit about her. And he's, like,
Right.
using her. So this is kind of a different thing, and, like, I guess, like, concept-wise, I'm kind of okay with that, but I just don't think the characters are, like, interesting enough, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, the Joker here just feels like someone's like trying to imitate forgot his
Heath
name.
Ledger?
Yeah, trying to imitate him and just doing a bad job. So, I mean, I guess he's not truly horrible, but he's not good. So
Actually, bringing that up, the costume design in this movie is not that great either.
well,
Because
it's a
when you
mix.
brought up like the Joker, like Heath Ledger's Joker, it's like
He
even
looks
though
like the Joker.
yeah, they made him realistic, but you can tell that he's the Joker.
hmm
Here it's kind of like they bleached his face. He has like black teeth or whatever, and like short green hair, and it's like that's it.
Yeah, like some of it's alright. Like just in terms of pure like effects and quality, like Croc actually does look pretty cool with that.
Mhm.
But like, you know, yeah, I don't know. Like for example, going back to the shows, Heath Ledger's Joker versus Mark Hamill's Joker are noticeably different in terms of how they
Right.
behave. There is still, of course, a core Jokerness to them, but there's a different kind of angle. I mean, part of that has to do with, you know, again, animated series, ultimately stuff for kids, but
Yeah.
but then like there is actually the Joker in the Young Justice, and he is also noticeably different. To be honest, I don't really
Okay.
like him that much in Young Justice, but that's because he is, I feel like he's almost too different. But
Okay.
again, it is something different, right?
Yeah,
Where again,
yeah.
here, this just feels like he's trying to imitate Heath Ledger, and it's not
Right.
going that well. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so yeah, and yeah, this whole movie is just a mess. Like everything is so messy, and I just, oh my god. I mean, it's not horrible, I guess.
It's not like the worst thing in the world, but it is like a kind of a big waste of time,
Yeah.
mostly because like
Yeah.
you don't really know what you're investing yourself into. You're just like,
Yeah,
okay,
I just don't care.
what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
I would hate to have watched this in theaters.
Oh, of
I
course.
know, right?
And then I'm trying to think. I'm at least be grateful that we didn't also this year have to see Batman vs Superman.
That's true.
'Cause
Oh
I-
yeah, you had to like tell us that Superman was dead in the beginning of this
Yeah,
movie.
'cause that's
as
what
happens.
context. Do they actually like establish that or no?
What do you
I don't
mean?
remember. Like in this movie, did they establish that Superman is
Well,
dead?
yeah,
I
they
don't
said something about like,
Wasn't that what that coffin part was?
yeah, that's what that was.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
I thought that, you know, it was just some weird edgy thing that happened.
No.
Okay.
yeah. So the thing is, I have not seen Batman vs Superman before. Basically, I'm in the same kind of camp as I was with Suicide Squad again before I saw it. Right now, I'd seen a lot of talk and reviews about it, but that's it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to think like, which would I dislike more?
Oh,
And-
really?
I think I would actually dislike Batman vs Superman more.
I was gonna say it's a similar
Right.
thing because I guess Suicide Squad, you're kind of like, okay, it's gonna be about villains and stuff, so you're more like mixed about it already going in. But Batman versus Superman, I guess, is more of a, oh my god, I wonder what they're gonna do with this, and it's gonna be like an epic fight and stuff. So I guess it is thus setting you up for more disappointment and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess because you have like a preconceived notion of like who Batman is and who Superman is, and like if you're a comic fan, then you know about this fight, and then you're let down majorly.
Well, also like this movie's messy, but like it has a story that it tells, and it's like at least it's a thing that happens. Where again, if you were to read like, you know, a Wikipedia summary, you'd be like, oh, okay, right?
Yeah.
Whereas
Right, yeah.
Batman v Superman has like 30 different plots that like barely do anything together, and again, of course, the fucking, you know, second movie, Superman dies. It's like, all right, just fucking ugh.
Of course he's gonna be dead forever.
So, yeah.
It's just like in the comics.
Mhm.
Death of Superman.
My god. I actually rewatched that video somewhat recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a great video.
It's such a great video. I remember watching it like think a few years ago and realizing that it's actually Elijah Wood that's in there.
Yeah. That was weird to think about. I was. Just
I didn't
like,
realize it the first time, but then watching it again, I was like, wait a minute.
Frodo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anything else to talk about for this mess of a movie?
Sora just left.
Sora's dissatisfied.
Yep. Okay. Well, next up is something I'd never heard of before.
Yeah,
Which-
it's gonna be peculiar.
Actually, like looking, we're quite close to like modern time. So pretty much, I was looking at the list and like pretty much every movie like around from here to the end and like a lot of stuff before in like 2015. I'm like I recognize or I know like pretty much all of these movies,
Mm-hmm.
except like this one. Like I don't know this one, and I like don't know like the one after this one, and like that's it. Like every other one I know. So who knows?
Oh, I didn't realize there was like that movie, like
Wait,
right
which
after
movie?
Yeah.
the October one. That's like that sounds really lame.
Yeah, I've never heard of that
I'll
before either.
find out after this.
Yeah. Like, so I guess we'll find out. Shrug. It'll hopefully be better than this. Probably. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know.
Rest in peace, the man who can climb
Oh
anything.
my god.
Like,
He had what, like 3 lines of the whole movie?
He was in the movie for 3 minutes.
bad guy.
Yeah, how is he a bad guy if he just likes to climb shit? I don't get it.
He should have been like a pro rock climber or something.
A lot of people should have been a lot of different things in this. Like the director should have not done that.
True.
Okay, anyway. See you for next time.
I
Bye bye.